This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion. Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, a Doctor Who Rewatch podcast brought to you by Another Happy Studios. It's no longer a shielder. Now, it's gonna...
It's gonna be me.
All that I do is not enough for you. I don't wanna lose it, but I'm not like that. When finally you get to love, guess what? Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't wanna lose it again.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs. Oh, that made me laugh. Hello and welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who rewatch podcast in the world. There are no others because we shot them up into a sky using a dead cunt portal. My name is Lawrence, and as always, I am joined by the beautiful and no longer delectable because he objected last week, Nathan. Nathan, how are you, sir?
I'm okay. Was you in some kind of rush to get out that intro there? Because you said that like, hello everyone, welcome to Still Got Legs, the only Doctor Who rewatch podcast in the world.
Maybe I did a little bit. Look, I was thrown off. To be honest, the Gonna Be Me thing caught me off so much.
Fucking welcome to my world, brother.
Yeah, but I've given you pre-warning. I've been like, look, there's a file. I need you to play it for me. That caught me so off guard.
No, there was no pre-warning.
Oh, that was good though. I like it. Game recognised game, you might say.
Thank you. It's pretty easy. All I did was just take a bit of a song and put it on the end.
Yeah, but now it's just fun to do something dumb, isn't it?
It is. It is indeed. Yes. Hello.
Hello. How are you today, Nathan?
Hello. It's I don't know. Do you have a baby yet?
No, not yet. No. Could do at any moment at this point, but
I mean, but at the time of release, probably.
At the time of release, definitely, or there's a problem, yeah.
Yeah, almost certainly, or something has gone horrible. Maybe we shouldn't say that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should leave that, actually. But yes, baby.
Baby, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
How you feeling, Lawrence? He forgot he's busy with baby stuff.
Yeah, and he would have probably already been scheduled like fucking months ago. So
he is not going into this project.
No, this was done a while ago. Anyway, look, we're here to do Doctor Who. It's season 9, episode 6, written by Catherine Tregeena.
Whoa, a woman!
A woman?
This is crazy stuff.
A woman writer? The first woman writer in Doctor Who in the revival era. Directed by Ed Bazalgette, maybe. It is, of course, episode 123, The Woman Who Lived.
Oh my god, hang on. Are we on 123 Still Got Legs now?
Yes, 123.
It feels like yesterday you were saying 18. We've done so many fucking podcasts, man.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know, it's come at an absolute cost as well, because so often, right, I'll hold my hands up. I've turned these in late a couple of times. I don't know if anyone's noticed, right, but every now and again, these have been like late by an hour or so, right, and I'll hold my hands up to it. Now I'm looking at our little Acast feed, right, and there's 4 scheduled. We've recorded another one, and this will be another one. So by the end of hopefully tomorrow, we'll have 6 scheduled.
Yeah. That's
nuts. And also we pre-recorded like a couple before then that have already come out. So...
And there'll be more scheduled to go as well.
I'm gonna screenshot that page just before I go on a little paternity leave and we have our break. Right?
It will never be like that again.
We'll frame it. We'll frame it, hang it in the studio when we finally get one.
No matter what, we'll always remember this period, okay?
And anytime it's ever late, I'll go, look what we are capable of. Now just remember the glory days of Still Got Legs.
And all it takes is for Lawrence to create life for that to happen.
That's crazy, isn't it? It's only taken that. It's that's taken us like to get finally ahead of podcasting. That's nuts. Anyway, a woman writer. That's pretty.
That is pretty cool. Catherine Tregenna, the first woman writer in New Who.
That is fucking insane, isn't it? Series 9.
Yeah, it is insane that it's taken this long, quite frankly. It's like 9 whole fucking seasons of Doctor Who, and then they think, oh, yeah, let's probably have a woman write one of these, you know?
Yeah. Maybe a different perspective might be nice from time to time. We tried it out with women directors a couple of years back, and I guess they've been okay.
Yeah. What else has she done? So she's a Welsh playwright.
Ooh.
She's also written episodes of EastEnders, Casualty, and Law and Order UK.
Damn.
There you go. Starring Martha Jones, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. She was in. I thought she was in a show. I mean, it's possible she's been in 2 shows.
I mean, it is possible for actors to appear in more than one show.
No. That's not how it works, Nathan. I don't know if you know.
I think it is. I think they can do that legally.
I can't believe that. I'm so switched off mentally that I was like, nah, she's not in that show. She's in another one.
Also, she also wrote a few episodes of Torchwood.
Oh, nice. Get in.
Out of Time.
I don't know that one. I can't remember that
Captain Jack Harkness.
I like that one. That's when Jack's boyfriend comes along.
You mentioned this one recently on a Patreon. Meat.
I like Meat. Meat's a good episode.
Meat.
Hang on.
Lawrence likes.
I love Meat.
And Adam.
Oh, Adam's good. Adam's goated. That's a great episode.
Adam is a horrible little prick.
Yeah, he is. But you remember that the concept of that episode is sick, man. When that episode started and everyone's like, "Hello, Adam," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here as normal." I was like, "Have I missed an episode? What's going on?"
No, I'm like Adam from Doctor Who is a horrible little prick.
Oh, Adam, imagine if it was that Adam.
Yes. Yeah.
That's natural though. You wouldn't need a power for that because you would just forget Adam was part of it.
Exactly. You would just shoot him in the face.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know the episode, Adam.
Oh, well, I won't say anything else, right? Adam is a goated episode of Torchwood, and when we finally get around to it, you're going to be like, whoa, Adams can be cool.
Anyway.
Nathan, you've already said what we're talking about. What do you think about today's episode?
Lawrence, I'd love to know your general thoughts on this episode of Doctor Who.
Oh, I got him once, and I'll never get him again.
It'll never happen.
He's too switched on now.
I am. I'm aware of it. Okay?
He's wise to it. He's wizened up. He's awoke, you could say. God damn.
He's awoke.
Yeah, like, he's just a little colloquial term that the kids use, I think.
Awake?
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I'm doing a spin on woke. Nathan, I think this episode is... I'm unsure on this one. If I can be real for a moment, would you mind?
You can't. No.
Oh, okay. In that case, better tell me your thoughts.
Oh, just tell me your fucking thoughts, man.
I'm unsure on this. I like it and I don't like it in weird and different ways, right? I think that there's conversations here, like grappling with the pros and cons of immortality and like how it affects people and the sanctity of life and all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is meaty. This is good stuff. I love to see 12 ponder on such matters. And I think Maisie Williams is intriguing and she's given a good performance. But it kind of, to me, this episode feels like they took their most interesting philosophical script and then took that concept and went, let's put it in a really boring episode of Doctor Who in a way. Because, like, the setting and the surroundings and, like, the villain, it's all just a little bit forgettable. And again, we always say, I know that that's not always the point of these episodes, but they're usually a little bit more, there's a bit more to chew on than there is in this one, if that makes sense. What do you think?
What if I shot you with a gun?
Oh, for God's sake.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Okay.
No, I'm in kind of the same place, really. Yeah. I like the episode for the most part. I think it's a mixed bag, okay? Like, yeah, there's good stuff. There's meat on these bones, okay? There's interesting... Shut up. There's interesting discussions and conversations throughout the episode. There's interesting themes and topics. Anything where it's like... grappling with the construct of immortality and all that kind of stuff and the consequences and everything. That's all like really good stuff. The villain and all that, it's a little weak sauce. It's wrapped in a package, which I don't know if it quite works all the time. So it's definitely a mixed bag. It's got highs, it's got lows, it's got Joes, you know?
Yes.
There's probably a guy called Joe involved in this somewhere.
Yeah, you would, even on the whole crew and cast, there's got to be a Joe, yeah.
So I feel confident in saying that.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should lock it in.
Yeah, I do. I'm locked in.
Nice. I agree. I just think it so clearly wants to be an episode that's just people in a room talking, but then they have to put in a Doctor Who episode in there.
Yeah, Mr. BBC.
Yeah.
Not that. Really.
Oh, he's here.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello. No. Mr. British Broadcasting Corporation is here like, look, we need fucking an alien, all right?
Yeah.
And why don't you just make it a big fucking cat or something?
Yeah, it genuinely looks terrible.
Make it a big fucking alien cat for no reason, all right? And then, like, have... like, all right, not to, like, jump ahead and spoil the ending of this episode we've all already seen, but, like...
Yeah.
then have all the villains' old mates show up and be like, oh, we're coming to kill you. Yeah. And then the Doctor's like, no, you're not. And then they're like, oh, okay, no, we're not.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
That's it. That's it. And then he closes and that's it. Anyway, we'll get into it.
We will.
But, yeah, weak sauce, but then there's some good sauce here as well.
Yeah.
You know, it is a dish of inconsistencies, but is a dish I will eat nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm still not prepared to call this, like, really bad.
And I will say, there was, maybe this just says more about me, but there was a point in this episode where I burst into tears and just could not stop.
Oh, what, like, hang on, from sadness?
There was a point in this episode where I
Okay.
burst into tears and could not stop.
Okay. All right, I'm very intrigued. Will you point it out when we get there?
No, I'll ignore it completely.
Okay.
Of course I will, you dickhead.
I'm
Yes.
just checking.
Yes, I will.
Nathan, where do we open this beautiful episode up on?
Somewhere.
Yes, somewhere is right, Nathan. Could it be with a big horse and carriage hold up? A stick
Yeah,
up?
somewhere in the woods, or like a road in the woods, but a road in the night, in the woods or some shit.
Yeah.
Some horseman, some highwayman has held up a carriage. He's like, "You fools, hello! It is stand and deliver." You know, it is.
It's me and my voice is normal.
It's me and my normal voice. Hello, give me your jewels, you cunt.
Yeah,
You know?
and they're not having it. They're like, mate, give off.
Yeah.
Not having this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not.
No.
Why would I do that? You're just a lone person. Like, who said I came alone? There's some creepy yellow eyes in the smoke in the tree line.
Yeah,
Nathan.
yeah. There's some big eyes. Maybe they belong to some sort of lion or tiger or some shit.
Yeah, I'll be honest. They teased the eyes a couple of times, and when we get the reveal, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, it's a lion or it's a tiger or something.
It's something like that. Yeah, but yeah, no, I do like this. What do you think of? Well, obviously this isn't Maisie Williams, so we won't spend too long discussing it. But what do you think of like the little Zorro get up here?
It's quite cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I like the highwayman-esque, you know, the look, the little domino mask and stuff works. It's quite cool.
I think so too. It is very funny that it is so transparently, clearly Maisie Williams under that mask, and still this person's like, "Hello there, stand and quarrel, sir."
What do you mean by that?
Like the voice is so obviously not the body that it's coming from. Like this,
It is Maisie Williams' voice. It's been distorted and changed.
it sounds like a regular 30-year-old bloke.
No, it's clearly Maisie Williams' voice.
Is it?
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's Maisie Williams' voice. It's just been like fucking pitched and alternated.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't. Well, then they did a good job, and they could say that they fooled me.
You can definitely tell it's Maisie Williams' voice. Like the cadence and everything is like, it's 100%. You can tell it's Maisie Williams' voice.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that at all.
Let me go take you to the tape.
Yeah, please. I can't tell. I really can't hear it. I really can't tell.
I can. I cannot hear anything else. That is 100% Maisie Williams' voice, just pitched down.
Really? I see.
Yeah.
I do not hear. I'm not saying like I'm not disputing it. I don't hear it at all. I cannot hear that.
If it's not, they've somehow managed to get someone who can mimic the exact cadence of Maisie Williams' voice, which to me is even more impossible, you know?
Yeah, your way makes more sense if they were trying to match that cadence, but I just don't hear it. I really cannot hear that I cannot hear Maisie Williams in that voice at all.
I can't hear anything other than Maisie Williams'
We're
voice.
at an impasse.
Yeah, that is 100% Maisie Williams' voice. Yeah.
Damn, okay. All right, well then egg on my face for making fun of it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a fool.
And I'm a hero for calling you out.
Were you calling me out? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I was. I won't stand for this injustice, sir.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah.
So 12 heads out of the TARDIS. He's got a gadget, Nathan. The Doctor's got a gadget.
He's got a little scanner. We'll find out the name of that scanner a little later.
I like this scanner.
He does have a little scanner, yes, and he's picked up some kind of signal on it, so he's following it and he's seeing what he finds, basically.
And what does he find?
A carriage getting robbed. He's like, don't mind me.
I love
don't
this.
mind me. Yeah, he just interrupts the robbery and he just like crawls through the carriage like, oh, don't mind me, I'm just looking, following my scanner. And then Maisie Williams, Game of Thrones, is like, this is my robbery, what are you doing?
Yeah, stop.
And the dad's like, you talking to me? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Go on, do it again. Oh, I'll try to pay attention. And then like she delivers her spiel again and the doctor clearly zones out and is like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I was really trying again. Sorry, you want to do it again? He's just like me, for real.
To be fair, it does feel like that. I think this is really funny. Just the way that he kind of just like bursts into the scene by walking through the other end of the carriage is great. Like he
says, sorry, I really was planning to listen to that time, but basically I didn't. Usually someone hits me at this point, but she's taken the year 7s for Taekwondo.
It's so good.
So Clara's not in this episode for the most part. She's off on a field trip or something.
Do you look now? We're a Big 12 and Clara fan, right? Mm-hmm. Or we're Big 12 and Clara fans. What do you think that she's not in this? I was surprised she wasn't in like any of it apart from the last 2 minutes.
What have you asked me?
So no, as in like, what do you think about that? Like, is her absence appreciated, or what do you think?
You didn't know. Well, no, of course it's not. First of all, you didn't ask me anything. Okay, what you did there was because we always appreciate when Clara's in an episode. All right, I'm just showing you from my point of view how that sounded. You know,
you could infer my question there.
Could I?
Well, I assume every open-ended thing that I say is followed by thoughts with a question mark.
I won't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I know why. Like, I get why Clara's not in it because you want to devote the more talky parts of the episode to more thinky discussions between the Doctor and
I think it's quite imperative that Clara's not in this episode.
Yes,
to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it makes perfect sense given the themes and everything that happens in the episode. I think, and the rest of the season as well. I think it's quite essential that she not be in this for the bulk of this episode. That she not be in it. Really.
Yeah, there's some conversations that need to be had, and Clara shouldn't be there to hear those, which makes how the Doctor goes into, I presume, later episodes with Clara with that in mind. Like, I think that's going to be interesting to see.
100%.
But but not to say I don't miss her. I always miss when Jenna Coleman's not in one of these, or if she's got reduced screen time, it's always sad.
Yeah, definitely.
Hand over the amulet, Nathan, says Maisie Williams, or Game of Thrones, you could say.
I won't say that.
Okay, fair enough. The Doctor's in the carriage. I love all the, we're not, I'm sorry, I'm really, really trying to listen to you this time. Like, that's all great. And while they're bickering, the carriage actually speeds off. They're like, fuck this noise, I'm out.
Yeah, the driver's like, fuck, these two are just arguing. I've got a chance here. I'm off. And then they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, you bungled my heist. And then the Doctor's like, no, you bungled mine, fucking Zorro. And he's like, hey, why don't you bloody show your face? At least I show my face. What's wrong with yours? And then the voice is dropped. It's just Game of Thrones' voice. And she's like, nothing, Doctor. And then Doctor turns around and he's like, you... And Maisie Williams is like, yes, it's me. What took you so long, old man? Whoa. Titles. Now, this, you probably won't be aware of this, but in the trailer for season 9, this was a moment in the trailer for season 9, the you and the, what took you so long, old man? Just that part. And that had people speculating wildly.
It's Susan!
That 100%, Yes, let me tell you, that was my theory.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is Susan. This is 100% Susan's back,
yeah.
You know? Egg on my face.
It was not Susan.
It was not Susan, let me tell you.
I feel like that's everything. Every time, like, someone infers the Doctor's been away for them for a long time, everyone's like, Susan, which I get. It's a natural, like, conclusion to draw, I guess, but...
I mean, she hasn't been in it in almost 60 years, barring like, one appearance in the 25th anniversary special.
Do you think they'll ever bring her back?
I think they should.
Yeah.
I definitely think they should, yeah.
You can't fumble that, can you, like...
I don't know. But then there's the conversation of should it be Carol Ann Ford, should it be someone else? You know, Carol Ann Ford is quite old now.
Yes, getting on.
but it's what do you do? Does she regenerate? Can she regenerate? Who knows?
Well, I think it's been so long that you could just do anything you want, though. Really, couldn't you? You could just say.
There's no reason to suggest why she can't.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But
we'll bring her back.
Is
in
she
that
alive?
season we do.
Is she alive though? Because the Doctor has mentioned many times that all his family have passed and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like none of that needs to be held like to an account.
There's works around. There's all
Yeah.
kind of things you can do. I personally would love to see Susan come back, but
Yeah, this would have been like the perfect like situation for it as well. Obviously, I know how it turned out, and it's not the same thing. But like Maisie Williams, a hot name at the time, like playing like a teenage woman, or at least like a early 20s woman, like that's you could have done a lot with that, but that's not what they did with this.
I mean, Susan probably wouldn't be teenage. Like,
how old was Susan when the Doctor fucked off?
so I think she was supposed to be quite young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if her age was ever explicitly stated, but like she was. I don't know if it's whether she just appeared young, but she was in school and stuff, so she was. I don't know. I think she was quite young.
But then, if you regenerate, you can be anything, can't you?
Yeah. Within reason.
We've gone from an old man to a middle-aged woman. Well, no, Jodie Whittaker's not middle-aged. Like how old is Jodie Whittaker?
She's like 40.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna say middle-aged. Why not? Yeah,
That's not middle age. Like MILF territory.
MILF. Okay, yeah, but there's no official word for MILF other than MILF.
MILF territory.
We've gone from an old man to MILF territory to a young bloke.
Yeah, but you don't like. I feel like you don't regenerate into a baby. I feel like I've said this on the show before. You don't regenerate into a kid once you've already been a kid.
Yeah.
Once you've like grown up into an adult body, I don't think you can then regenerate into a child's body.
Yeah, but if you were going to cast Maisie Williams isn't a kid.
No, I'm not saying she is.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that like I don't think you would age. I don't know. It's all over the place, really.
Look, they can do whatever, and to be honest, they didn't. So what are we doing?
Exactly. We're arguing. We're arguing something that didn't happen.
The casting practices of a thing that didn't happen.
Yes.
This is the titles. Ooh, wee, ooh, all of that stuff. You get it.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Maisie Williams is showing the Doctor a cool new voice, and the Doctor's saying that he kept an eye on her. Yeah, and that last time he saw her, she was founding a leper colony. I can never say colony.
Leper colony.
Colony. I always fuck that word up every time I say it.
Say it now.
Colony.
Say it without thinking about it.
No, I can't. I have to think about it.
Well, don't. Just say it.
Colony.
You're just thinking about it.
Yeah, I know, but I have to think about it to say it. That's
How many L's in a colony?
what?
How many L's in a colony?
One.
All right, yeah, but just say that. Say that sentence. How many L's in a colony?
How many L's in a colony? Oh, I did it, Nathan.
There you go. See, if you don't think about it, it's fine.
You should be that guy in the King's Speech who gets Colin Firth to not stutter or something. That's what you're good at.
Colin Firth's mate.
Colin Firth's mate.
Yeah.
Who gets him to swear a lot, and Colin Firth. My mum was cackling in that movie because Colin Firth's walking around going like bums and balls and tits and pricks and stuff like that. He loves it. You seen the King's Speech in a while?
Not in a while, no. Not probably in about 10 years, probably.
That's fair.
I watched it once. Bought the Blu-ray in my I love movies and I'm going to buy every movie ever era.
Of course, yeah.
Had the Blu-ray, watched it once, never watched it again.
We've all had that Blu-ray. It doesn't always have to be the King's Speech, but we've all had that Blu-ray.
Oh, I had many. I had so many. Some of which never even left the fucking plastic cellophane, let me tell you.
Yeah, some probably still have the plastic on. Yeah, that's yeah. I lost a few fivers to those Blu-rays, let me tell you. So what's going on? So he was proud. And, I kind of like this. I like that the Doctor's been keeping an eye on and seeing what's been happening.
Yeah. I guess it kind of makes sense. He'd feel an air of some sort of responsibility for her. But yeah, makes sense.
And she's kind of all buzzing because she's like, oh, he's come back. He's like, finally he's come back to like get me and we can now travel. And the Doctor's like, no, this is awkward. I'm just here for an amulet thing or whatever.
Yeah. She's like, you haven't come for me? And he's like, no, it's just a coincidence, really. Hell of a fucking coincidence, I will say.
Massively so, yeah.
Like, I know this can always be fucking boiled down to the TARDIS, okay?
Yes.
But, like, still, like, hell of a fucking coincidence.
Is this your thing about, like, how it shouldn't even have been this Doctor to see her again? Like, it could have been any Doctor. It's just a crazy thing.
It could have been any Doctor, but, like, the fact that it's 12, the fact that it's weeks, months at most after the incident of last week, then hell of a coincidence.
Hell of a coincidence indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you so what do you think of all this? I know that there's some people, there's some opinions, some voiced opinions about how the me thing is a bit too much. Maisie Williams doesn't remember that her name was a Shielder, and she actually now goes by Me or something.
What do you mean a bit much?
Well, like a lot of people say that you know, it's like this is a bit of a stretch.
When you say a lot of people, do you mean 2 people on our Discord?
No. I have heard this like outside of Discord before we even started this podcast. I'd heard that the Maisie Williams run of it, people were a little bit like, bit of a wet fart. This kind of stuff.
What are you asking me though?
I'm asking you. Is that true? How true is that? And also, where do you land on all the me thing?
Okay.
Thoughts?
Sorry, but you started to ask me, from my understanding, I may have misinterpreted.
Yeah.
You started to ask me about Maisie Williams' character's name of Me and her forgetting her name of a Shielder, but then it seems like you've changed that to ask about her character arc in general.
No. I'm saying like the choice to do the me thing. It's a very hard thing to say, this.
Okay, the me as in the name.
The name
me.
thing.
Just so we're clear.
Yes.
You're talking about the name, not the character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fucking hell, this is gonna get confusing.
It's the only time I'll call her me.
I think if you have a problem with this, you're a fucking idiot, okay?
Oh, no.
I think this is great, okay?
Okay.
I think it's so fucking incredible
Yeah.
to have an immortal character forget their own name, which I think makes sense because the human memory is like fucking, you know, can only go so far. I mean, fucking look at you. You can't even remember this morning, all right? So, like, I think it's, first of all, interested in storytelling from that perspective, and I think there's something so fucking heartbreaking about the fact that she can't even remember her own name, so she has this line like, it's just me now, it's just me, that's all it is, just me, and that's what she's called herself. She's not even given herself a proper name, just Me. That's it. I think that's fundamentally brilliant.
I don't know if I'd go brilliant, but I do think it's like it's an interesting.
You're a fucking idiot then. You're an
Nathan,
idiot.
leave space for people to disagree with you.
No, I call myself Me. All the other names I chose died with whoever knew me.
Yeah, I watched
Me is
it.
who I am. Me is who I am. No one's mother, daughter, wife. My own companion, singular, unattached, alone.
Yeah, I like the whole concept of where it like lands her as a character and how she views herself, like not even giving herself the luxury of a name, seeing herself as just this kind of like person that is just there to exist and kind of just let the world pass her by. I like all of that stuff. I do think it's the calling herself Me is a little bit cheesy. I think that's a little bit on the...
Why is it cheesy?
it just a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit silly. I don't know why.
What a stupid way to look at something. What a stupid way. No, genuinely, seriously, because what a stupid way to look at something like, you know, something that's full of like so much pain from someone so broken about this whole immortality thing. The fact that they're not even giving themselves the basic human decency of a name, which is what literally every single person gets. They don't even see themselves as worthy of that, because what's the point? They'll just forget it, okay? They've had numerous names over the years and they've forgotten each and every single one of them. So what's the point of trying to remember it? I'm just me, okay? That's so hauntingly beautiful to me. That's so like fucking brutal and heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time.
I just think it kind of contradicts itself a little bit, though. I feel
Why does it contradict itself? In what way?
Because I feel like if you're going around saying like, because the subtext here is that she doesn't see herself as even worth fucking having a name. She just doesn't see herself as a person anymore. Like all kind of image and self-respect is kind of out the window. She exists solely to exist. But then,
I believe it's more from my perspective. It's more so she doesn't see the point because she just keeps on forgetting and erasing herself.
Well,
so.
then from my point to you, is not going to be a contradiction then. But to me, seeing it the way I just said, it just feels a little bit like, well, you have given yourself a name though, haven't you? It's just me.
But it's not. But Bean's not a name though. It's just like.
But she gets
who are
called
you?
Lady
I'm
Me and all of this stuff. Like it is a name.
Yeah, because that's. It's not though. It's like if you went, oh, you. That's not a name. That's just how you refer to someone, you know?
Yeah, but and maybe this is.
Me is not a name. Me is a descriptive term, a verb or some shit. Like it's not a fucking. It's not a name.
I know. I get what you're saying. I just think it lands the point where I think it would have been a bit more effective if she just didn't have one. If the doctor maybe is like, oh fucking, what do I call you? And she's like, that's not fuck. I don't care. Like it's not. She's beyond it. She doesn't care about it. But going by me and then saying I don't have a name is the same thing as I do have a name. It's just me. It's just a different thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. I don't agree.
That's fine. That's for the spice of life. That's that variety.
Lawrence, it's 30 minutes into this episode.
You're right, it is.
Here's some ads.
Okay. We're back from the ads. Okay, so we find out more about the doctor's scanner, his device.
Do we?
I think it's at this point. I hope it is. The curio scanner. Isn't this when he brings out the curio scanner?
Yes, it is. Yes, sorry, you're absolutely right. Yeah, she asks what his device is, and he says his curio scanner. It scans for curious. Oh, just realised how it got its name, which is quite ridiculous. Makes no sense. Very funny.
It's fun. Well, yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but we've spoken about this a couple of times. Right? I like it when you can see the doctor's mind catch up with his brain, like a little bit.
Yes,
like he's
100%.
word spewing and then goes like, oh. That makes sense. Anyway, now that I've got that out of my head, let's carry on.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite fun. So this little device he's made, it tracks for some kind of energy, basically some weird space energy or some shit.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, is held in this sort of amulet thing that they're looking for.
Yeah, the amulet. To me, like, there's a couple of times where they bring up the amulet, and I'm just like,
it's just a MacGuffin.
It's a
Who
thing,
cares?
isn't it? Yeah,
it's a MacGuffin. It's a whatever, man. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
you know,
its rules are not determined, and even the doctor's like, later on in the episode, that even the doctor's like, I don't fucking know. Maybe this thing happened, maybe it didn't. Who cares?
Who knows?
But yeah, so I do kind of like this. Is in the you get a bit more about how kind of little she views herself and how easily she just kind of wants that adventure. Right, and it's just that the doctor notices that she's essentially just a thief. She's got drawers stuffed with silver and gold and everything else, and her whole house is like seemingly made up of just various knickknacks and trinkets that she's stolen from people. Let's keep until you find your note.
No, I've got my note, but I'm like, are you going ahead or?
No, I can leave it there. The whole episode, if you like.
I don't know where.
Which she makes the point that she does it for the thrill of it. The doctor's like, "You've got money," and she's like, "That's not what I'm after, mate. I'm just after something to make me feel alive a little bit."
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Cool.
I'm sorry. My next part is about all this shit, like with the stuff that happened in her past, like the 800 years of adventure.
Oh,
so like she was a medieval queen, and she was like, oh, it was fucking boring, really.
Yeah.
Like, it was all just paperwork and backgammon, and then I just ended up faking my own death and fucking doing a runner, basically. And then she was like, oh, I actually fought in the 100 Years' War as well.
Yeah.
Like it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill, and I'm immortal, so I got all the fucking time in the world, all right? So, like, I'm fucking sick at archery and shit.
She says on archery, she says she can fire off 6 arrows per minute. Now, I'm no archer, but that doesn't sound very impressive.
You're no archer.
Oh, okay. Is that crazy good?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm also no archer.
Hawkeye was busting out like fucking 10 in 30 seconds, wasn't he? So
yeah, but Hawkeye's got a mechanical bow, though, hasn't he?
Oh, that's true.
Hawkeye's got a bow made in 2012, all right? Like, and it's got a USB on it, all right?
It does have a USB.
He's got a USB bow, right?
Yeah.
like a wooden bow, I don't think it's, doesn't have the same sort of fucking technology behind it and shit.
It doesn't have the same fire rate, I guess, yeah.
Maybe Legolas can probably do more than 6 in a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I just feel like whenever I see bow and arrows in media, and this is for no one, I feel like it's just constantly pa-ching, pa-ching, like...
Yeah, but media's not accurate, though, is it?
No,
I
know.
It's for entertainment purposes, okay? I don't know. Yeah, 6... That's an arrow every 10 seconds, okay?
Yes.
Let me hold on. Let me time this out now. Count to 10, okay?
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
See, I was drawn on 3.
Yeah, that's a lot of aiming time.
I was ready to go on 3, and then I was just waiting for 7 seconds. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I guess it does feel slow.
I reckon we could at least double that. I reckon we could pop off 12 a minute if we're real.
I reckon I could do 12 a minute again. I'm no archer.
Yeah, this is one of them things. I feel like archers could listen to this and be like, "You're a lunatic. I've trained my whole life and I can pop off 3 a minute or whatever."
Yeah, there is that guy who shows up on my TikTok who's an archer, and he's always like jumping about off stuff and doing archery. Maybe I should message him and find out.
Like a parkour. Yeah, get his take on this.
I will. I'll message him from the Still Got Legs account and find out.
Mate, we need the honest truth on this.
We need you to break this down, okay?
I don't know. It just sounds like it sounds. She says it like it's crazy impressive, and it just sounds not very impressive.
She says you should have seen me. I could shoot 6 arrows in a minute. I got so close to the enemy, I penetrated armor. I'm like, all right.
Also, getting close to the enemy, does that make you a better archer? Or just one that doesn't care about dying as much?
Well, I guess it could make you a better archer. I don't really know, to be honest. But the doctor does say, though, he's like, you're immortal, not indestructible, or something. Like,
yeah.
Watch out. What are you doing,
Yeah, I think he says something to the effect of, like, don't you ever get ill? And she's like, yeah, I just become fine again. Like, it just shakes off me. She says she cured a whole village of scarlet fever and they tried to drown her as a witch or something.
Yeah, which, checks out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then she says she's very good at holding her breath.
Yeah.
As well.
Got her 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
What's the skill you would do 10,000 hours of if you were immortal?
I would learn a lot of languages.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
To just be able to speak a lot of languages. I would... Wait, so hold on. In this scenario, am I immortal, or is it like I can stop time sort of scenario?
No, you're immortal. A shield of powers.
Oh, okay.
Why? What was... If you could stop time, what would it be?
Well, if I could stop time, then I could just learn a bunch of shit and use it in my life. But if I'm immortal, then I'm like, everyone's gonna die before I can use all
before
this
you can
shit,
show off all your cool languages.
Yeah, exactly. I can't show off all this shit to everyone.
I love that there's bi and trilingual people out there, and you're just like, no, everyone will be dead before I get there.
They'll all be dead before I master that. Okay.
Mate, I'm terrified of ever having to learn a proper new language because I'm so fucking bad at in German. Right, in German lessons at school, right, I was genuinely terrible. I could not retain... my memory is dreck, you know this, right? But I couldn't retain a single fucking sentence. In my oral exam, I just had it written down on pieces of paper and I just read it out. Awful. I was terrible.
Give me some German.
Ich spiele Fußball.
Ich.
What is it? Ich? Oh, it's ich. Oh, no, ich. No, I said ich. No!
Fucking hell.
Well, there you go. The first word I fell down.
Go on, give me that again.
What is it? Ich spiele Fußball. Ich spiele Fußball. I play football, that is.
Ich spiele Fußball.
Meine Lieblingssport. Sport, you see the accent there as well. Sport. Ist or ish Fußball. My favourite sport is football. East football. Football. Shit. Okay, you see, you can hear the issue if I go to Germany, surely.
Well, yeah.
You'd be like, what would you like? And I'd be like, football. I can play football. I can't even play football. That's the worst part of it.
I mean, mostly they speak English, so.
Yeah. Because of that war.
You'll be okay. No.
So the doctor says he's impressed by her CV. I do kind of like the line that Maisie Williams has about having an infinite life but a finite memory. And it's just like that's just very sad, isn't it? Like that you will just forget everything over time slowly.
Yeah, like your name.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's very sad.
So she reads her journals, again, not out of nostalgia, but out of curiosity. And the journal apparently describes her outliving all her loved ones as just hell. And that's like, yeah, that's rough. Even the doctor is a little bit like, I'm just going to look at the floor for this. I don't know how to speak to you right now.
I think she says something like, I don't even know what sorrow is anymore. You know, it all just runs out. Like I'm just what's left. I've done all I can. I look up to the sky and I like wonder what it's all like out there. And this kind of like leads on to like this through line throughout the episode. She's like kind of wanting the doctor to take her with her. Yeah. Really, she's wanting to go with him and just basically be free from this like immortality he gave her.
There must be new things out there that she hasn't experienced. Yeah.
I mean, she's had 800 years in, like, medieval England, which couldn't be great.
It's too much.
Like, yeah. Medieval England as well. Like,
yeah, you got nothing to do there.
That is rough, man. That is rough.
That explains her 10,000 hours in archery. Fuck all else to do.
No internet.
Oh, yeah, but then she doesn't know it exists yet, so that's something. But then she knows that the doctor's got, like, technology and shit, so she must be like, oh, I might be on the precipice of this. Imagine waiting, knowing that times of greater technology lie ahead, but just being like, is it going to be this decade? Or is it going to be this century?
But what technology does she know about? She doesn't know about any technology.
No, but she's seen the doctor's sunnies, isn't she? Like...
She's seen the half a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, but didn't she use the POV of them last week, and it was, like, all this tech shit?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, she saw Clara's phone, because they were going to upload to You've Been Framed in Space or something.
I mean, her dad saw her phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was fried, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's fair then, yeah. Fair.
She was quite literally dead at that moment.
Just a horrible life waiting for, like, is there going to be an interesting century anytime soon where something happens?
I don't think she would have taken much or any note of that technology.
Okay,
really.
All right.
Yeah.
So she's not holding out for it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think she's like, when is the iPhone coming?
Yeah, 2007's a long way off.
Yeah, I don't think she's holding out for that.
So yeah, she says the people that she knows are like smoke and they blow away in a moment, which I think is a great line. Just like
very, very interesting.
But it's how someone immortal would see death, just like people's lives slowly. And it makes sense, the disconnect between how she views human beings and their lives. Like, sad to see Ashilda go from like so full of life, so close and connected to people and places last week, to basically being like, can't die. I've gotten over it, to be honest.
The blow away like smoke thing is very interesting.
Yeah, it's a great line.
But I won't say why.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, but now... Stop sizzling me! I want to know! God damn it, fine. So yeah, they're going to go and... well, the doctor makes a point of being like, I don't know how you even know I'd have a ship. Like, I didn't know you. Like, we met for a bit, but I don't know. But there's something going on. She's noticed something about the doctor, and maybe we'll get to it later.
What she noticed?
That he's got a ship.
All right.
They're gonna go find the amulet. Basically, is where that's what they start to. She says like, we're gonna leave in an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
What's bro munching?
I had fajitas for dinner, and I've got some leftover like wraps. So
what? Just like cold wraps? No.
Whoa,
that's like
tortilla.
That feels like in
tortilla.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he has the burrito in the hot tub and it's wet and he still eats it.
It's not a wet burrito, is it?
It's just a cold, unseasoned wrap.
No, I'm like rubbing it in the sauce.
Oh, I didn't know you had. So you didn't explain the sauce. I didn't know the sauce was there. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, you're permitted to eat your snack.
Thank you.
So before the doctor leaves, or before they leave together, the doctor has a poke about her journals, and reads that today's the day she should have died, but she was saved by her hero. And just like that's like a fun first entry, and just like what comes after is just depravity, like just pure sadness.
Her hero, a man called the Doctor.
Yeah.
In case it wasn't obvious. But yeah, next one is My Love is Dying. It broke my heart when the question started, and I knew I had to leave him. I returned to find an old man who smiles and thinks I am a dream. I'm flesh and blood, my love, but all you see is a ghost. Jesus fucking Christ.
Horrible.
Oh my God. The fact that, like, she's like, oh, this cunt's cottoned on. Like, he's noticing I'm not aging. I gotta fucking dip.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta break this off now. And then she's come back to see him as an old man, and he's like, he thinks she's just a dream, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just severing connections left, right, and center. Just a horrible way to live. Because that's the thing about like living forever is great, but you can't even spend a full lifetime with someone, because it would get to the point where they're like 90 and you're still looking like 20 or whatever, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The Doctor also finds, like, he sees pages torn out, basically, and then he sees pages where the ink is smudged, which he says are tears. Tears caused that. Basically, that's pretty brutal. And then there's a passage which is basically saying, like, clutching toys as they sleep, never to wake up. My children, my screams, I could not save you, little ones. Such pain, and yet still I am not brave enough to die, to let go of this wretched life. I will endure, but no more babies. I cannot and will not suffer such heartbreak again. From now on, it's me against the world.
Awful. Do you think genuinely that this episode is... I mean, I feel like I know the answer, but do you think this episode... I feel like it would have been greatly improved from just being about this kind of stuff. Just the Doctor and me having a little fucking chat walking about the house, right?
I feel like it would have too, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think the BBC would have signed off on that.
No, they definitely would have done, but it's funny because they shot themselves in the foot. Like, this is some great stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's horrible. It makes you think about like our place in life and everything else, and it's great material. And then they're just kind of... Like, I'm pretty sure immediately around this point, like, she goes out and speaks to the glowing eyes in the bush, and is like, don't worry, he doesn't know our real plan. And I'm like, this is weak. This is so much weaker than all of that other cool stuff.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a family entertainment show, primarily aimed at children, okay?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, you need some kind of monster, you need the villain of the week or whatever bullshit, okay? But... it is a little worse for that, really. It is, especially in such an episode where, like, the stuff outside of that is so rich and so interesting and so hauntingly heartbreaking. You can't help but feel like the episode would be all the better for just not having, like, the monster and shit in there.
Yeah, really. Which is kind of like, they're just limited by the confines of what the show is. Like you say, it's an action adventure fucking show for kids. Like, so it has to, it's unfortunate, I do think, but like, and again,
kids aren't like fucking 7-year-old kids are not going to be jazzed about an episode of two people sat at a table discussing like immortality and the consequences of that. Me and you, we'd fucking eat that shit up.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah.
That'd be sick, all right? That'd be great. But like, kids, little Timmy and little Susie are gonna be like, where's the monsters? You know, where's the fun monsters and all that shit?
Where's the good stuff? What they see is never mind all this boring chatting. Right, this is well dull. Yeah, it's a shame because those kids.
7 years old and I'm dumb and have no media literacy. Yeah. Okay, give me a monster.
Yes, please. Yeah, it's just a shame. But yeah, so the page is torn out. She says some memories are too terrible. And she has the pages. The Doctor says, like, what could be worse than like your kids dying? And she's like, no, they're there for me to remember. I need to feel that pain, because if I forget that pain, I'll experience it again, and that's not something I want to do. Yeah, great stuff. There's a fantastic exchange about how the Doctor says she's wearing a mask to hide her pain. And she's like, mate, the alternative is that you just don't want to fucking admit that you've made me into this. This is your doing.
Yeah. Very, very haunting, really.
Very haunting. But great stuff, I think. Not for the Doctor. The Doctor's having a bad time, but still.
Yeah. He does at one point ask her what happened to the second dose, the second immortality pill thing he gave her. She kind of like dodges the question, really, and the doctor like just goes on to say like humans need shared experience. Basically, they need to share a life with someone, otherwise it gets to what this is. Basically. Like it's bleak. So yeah, but again, she like doesn't really answer.
Yeah, she plays it off. She's like, "Oh, I'm regretting sharing this experience with you, mate." And it's mate, but like we just read about all your journals, man. Like you can't hide from that.
Yeah. Anyway, they're broken into some cunt's house. This is all a bit of nothing, really. It's all like, I'll get my blunderbuss.
I kind of like this. It's a bit of nonsense. To be honest, of the whole episode that isn't the deep the conversation stuff.
Yeah.
This is the bit that I was the most switched on to. I kind of like them creeping about and this buffoon like, we've been breached, with his little stupid fucking gun.
Yeah.
I thought this was, I think the appropriate words are fun little hijinks going on. But it's not, it is nothing, but it's fun.
Yeah, I don't really care for it, if I'm being honest.
That's so fair. I cannot hold that against you.
Anyway, they basically end up in a chimney. Okay.
Yes.
They end up in a chimney, like trying to climb up and out and shit. The doctor like says at one point, he says like, "Oh, you're a liability. I'd never have this much trouble with Clara." First of all, bold, okay? Because yes, you would.
Maybe more.
Yeah. And then me is like, "Oh, Clara, she's still with you, is she?" And then Alex was like, "Oh, you remember Clara?" And Ashilda says, I think this is very telling, she says, "Of course, I take particular note of anyone's weakness."
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, very telling. But yeah, she goes on to like asks, "Why haven't you made Clara immortal?"
Yeah.
Okay. And then
more question ducking from the doctor again.
More question ducking from the doctor, but she also kind of like follows up on that point and like kind of like, I guess, kind of wanting to get at the doctor, kind of wanting to hurt him a little bit as well. She's like, I guess it's more of a sense of she wants acting out a little bit, like she wants him to feel the pain that she has a little bit, but she just basically kind of goes on to say like, she'll die on you, she'll blow away like smoke. Like, how old are you? Older than, and how many have you lost? How many Claras have you lost? Yeah. And that kind of stuff. Trying to poke at him a little bit. Yeah,
there's definitely an element of it to that. And I kind of, I think it's nice. I think it's incredibly interesting to see these two very guarded people both claiming, like, I've got it down. I know what I'm doing. You need to stay out my way. I understand my rule code and my ethics and all of this stuff. But realistically, they're just two lonely fucking people, both kind of scared to connect with people properly. And the doctor's realizing that, like, I think there's a part of him that's going, maybe she's right. Maybe getting so close to Clara is gonna fuck. We saw him speak about it last week. It's gonna fucking rip him. Like, when Clara does go, right, it's gonna fucking tear through him. And the fact that he's already loathing himself for knowing he's gonna run away in his box and avoid the pain. Like, I like to see that in his eyes in this scene, where you can kind of tell he's like, you're right, but I can't admit that, because that would again be acknowledging that pain.
Talk about that pain a little later in the episode, and maybe that is where I cried, Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, okay, a bit of sizzle. All right, I like it. Nice stuff. Now, Nathan, we're gonna meet the coolest side character in the episode, you might say.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh no, you don't like Sam the Swift, Nathan?
I like Sam Swift. I think Sam Swift is a bit of fun. Played by that comedian. Is it Rufus something?
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Sam Swift, Doctor Who.
Rufus Wainwright or something like that.
Let me find him.
He's a comedian. I definitely know he's a comedian.
Rufus Hound, that's it. Yeah, he's a comedian. My wife went, "Is that Matt Berry?" I went, "No,
it's
doesn't even look like Matt Berry."
No, has Matt Berry been on Doctor Who? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Doctor!
That fucking metal dog.
That Cyberman's a pain in my arse. Doctor!
I'll exterminate you in a moment, cunt.
I'll exterminate you, you shit. Fuck off, darlings.
You're the biggest cunt on Gallifrey.
The most devious bastard in Gallifrey.
Oh, Matt Berry for the next Doctor. Would tank the show, but would be so fucking
I don't
good.
think it'd tank the show.
I just couldn't
It'd be
take him
great.
seriously, man. I've seen Matt Berry like even attempt other serious roles, and I'm just like, no, you mate, you just talk like that. It's just a funny voice.
It is great. What the fuck?
What the fuck? You would expect it to come out the TARDIS going, who's this Robin Hood cunt?
Now listen here, Daleks. I've had enough of you cunts.
I'll delete you in a moment.
Good on him.
Good on him indeed. Yeah, so fucking Sam Swift, he kind of jumps down. He's like, it's immediately
He
reminiscent.
just jumps down from a tree in the middle of nowhere. By the way,
I love that. This is the dumb shit that I can appreciate.
he's like, aha!
Yeah.
All right.
It's a fucking. I guess you caught me. I don't know who you are. But.
Yeah.
I love this. The Doctor is immediate. It takes me straight back to Robot of Sherwood straight away. The Doctor's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want more funny guys. I'm sick of them.
He does a pun. He's like, no puns. Line in the sand.
It's great. To be honest, there's some good back and forth here, right?
There is.
He sees the nightmare up close, which is Maisie Williams' Zorro personality, or like alias, I guess. And he's like, nightmare? More like slightmare. And she's like, you got a big nose, mate. More like Sam the Sniff. Like, that's good back and forth. That's good bant.
And that's when the Doctor's like, this is banter. I'm against banter. I'm on the record of being against banter. It's true, he is. In Robot of Sherwood.
He's definitely said it. It's true. But yeah, so the Doctor Sam Sniff or whatever his name is, Sam Swift pulls up his gun and is like, I'll shoot you, whatever. And the Doctor's like, do you want some money? I don't know, people want money normally. Just get me out of this scenario. I'm wasting my time, really. But yeah, he says he goes like, the Doctor, is that the best name you can come up with? And the Doctor's like, it says Sam Swift, mate. Sharp.
Yeah.
You prick.
He also thinks the Doctor's his dad as well.
Yeah, oh, so funny.
Dr Keyz going like, can you tell him I'm not your dad?
he's stuck on it, isn't he?
He's so caught up on that one as well, which is quite good.
It's really, really fun stuff. There's a bit of a scuffle again. It's just a bit of like whatever. It's fine. They just have a little bit of a fight. It doesn't really mean anything.
No.
And the doctor does say, because Maisie Williams gets him at the barrel of the gun, and Sam Swift immediately starts being like, oh, I'm sorry. And the Doctor's like, if you shoot him, you're going to make an enemy of me. And then comes a great line essentially saying, their lives are short, I understand, like, but they do matter. Almost being like,
yes,
I get it. And like, this is really the first person I would imagine he's been able to say, I get it to. Like,
well, no.
Well, who?
The Master. Jack.
This is like, I would say, the third person that the Doctor could have... The third
River.
named character that the Doctor... Even that's wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it's rare that he gets to have this.
Anyone on Gallifrey, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Of course, Rani.
Alright, but we don't know them from New Who, alright?
Corsair isn't in Classic Who.
Oh yeah, he's the dead cunt, isn't he? That Big Neil mentioned or something.
Don't say
Big Neil.
Don't say Big Neil. Like he's one of your mates.
No,
alright.
Alright, no, we're not. He's not my mate.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be. But yeah, so this is I do like this. I like that he's like, there's an element of 12 that understands the frustration, but he's still like, you can't go around just killing cunts, mate.
Yeah, I like that as well. It also implies that, like, Game of Thrones is kind of like forgotten the significance of life a little bit. Like, to her, like, people's lives are just very insignificant, so what do they matter? You know, they're like, they're so short. There's even like a whole analogy later on about like mayflies. You know, they're just like mayflies. They're just nothing. They're so insignificant. Like, what the fuck does it matter if I kill them or not? Basically, like, but it does matter. Of course, it matters.
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah,
I do kind of like that. There is this. Their philosophical differences are quite interesting to see played out like this, essentially. And we meet Clayton, who's Maisie Williams' little servant, who's got a weird little trim, like a terrible kind of bob situation going on.
Like your hair.
It's nothing like my hair whatsoever.
Looks exactly like your hair. Yeah.
If it does, then I need to be put out the back of the barn. That's a terrible trim.
Got your exact haircut. That's how you look like.
This is just not true. This is factually inaccurate.
No, that's what you look like.
No.
Anyway, Clayton is like, care for a cocktail, milady.
He's useless, isn't he? Just a butler that she keeps around because she might want to kill him.
I don't think she keeps him around because she might want to kill him.
But she does want to. She is waiting to kill him.
I feel like you've massively missed the point of that. Okay, if that's what you're taking away, I feel like you have massively missed the point of that.
But she does keep him around to kill him, though. Like,
no, Lawrence, she doesn't. She doesn't keep him around because she wants to kill him. She keeps him around for for an ounce of companionship, okay? And then because at one point she's so jaded and she's got this cunt whisper in her ear, she's like, oh, I'll kill this cunt. But that's not what she actually wants to do, Lawrence, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
she doesn't keep him around to kill him.
She doesn't end up killing him. So there's that.
Exactly, yes. Lawrence, it's an hour into this episode.
Oh, what's it time for, Nathan?
It's time for some ads.
Great stuff.
We're back from the ads. So Maisie Williams, again, she's talking about wanting to go off and fly with the doctor, and at one point even kind of starts to beg him, really.
Yeah.
She says, I want to fly right now. I've waited longer than I should have ever lived. I've lost more than I can even remember. Please, doctor, just get me out of this. I want more than this. I deserve more than this.
Yeah.
And the doctor just says it wouldn't be good, and he keeps calling her a shielder, which I also think is quite interesting, and she keeps getting angry every time he does as well.
Yeah, it's like a rejection of like,
yeah.
I think like what she said earlier, it's kind of him refusing to take accountability for the fact that he has made her into this person.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Anyway, that's where this big lion cunt walks in.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a growl, and the doctor's like, "Oh, have you got a cat? Sounds like a very big cat." And then fucking Aslan walks in.
It's literally. I wrote down that I think it's a really cool shot the way the doors kind of burst open and it like floods with this yellow light. Right, it looks awesome, and then the next immediate shot shows this lion in like the full design, and you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
It went from so cool to that's really boring.
It looks a bit stupid, really.
It looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast because he's all dressed up and stuff as well. And he's got a big old mane, but he's still wearing his. I'm pretty sure he's wearing like a little suit or a cloak or some shit.
I never saw the movie, like the Emma Watson movie of the Beauty and the Beast.
It's
but
no good.
Is it not? Is the Beast hot?
I don't think so. There'll be people out there that would say so. Dan Stevens is an attractive man.
No, but is the Beast hot?
I don't think so.
Because the Beast in the cartoon, is hot. Okay.
Handsome chap, yeah.
Handsome chap, like immediate downgrade when he changes back into fucking
She's like,
Eric or whatever that cunt's name is.
Yeah.
Immediate downgrade. And I can't help but imagine that'd be the same for Dan Stevens as well.
I don't think so. I think it's a bit of an upgrade because Dan Stevens is a handsome bloke, and they made the Beast. I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but they made the Beast too animalistic.
Let me look at that Beast.
Yeah, get a look at him.
Oh, the Beast is way hotter than Dan Stevens.
Do you think?
Yeah, Beast has got like a beard and everything. It's like Dan Stevens looks too clean, like a little fucking clean little posh boy prince.
I can't remember what Dan Stevens looks like in the movie. I'm just going off Dan Stevens in real life.
No, I'm seeing like a side by side here, and it's like, oh, I'd much rather fuck the Beast. Anyone would much rather fuck the Beast. Like even Belle is like, okay.
Let me send you this fucking picture, right? Because I think the Beast looks like a bit of a dork.
You should have stayed as the Beast.
Look at this image I'm sending you, right? Does the Beast not just look a little bit like a dork in this?
Yeah, I saw that photo, but look at this one that I'm sending you. This is great content for the listeners, by the way.
It's so true.
Look at this one that I'm sending you. Okay?
Yeah.
And look, like
they've given him the curls, and he looks like an English lawyer.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know. I just think the beast, the dark lighting does a lot for the beast there. He looks moody and mysterious, but when you're actually seeing him cutting about,
He's got horns. He's got horns.
That doesn't mean he's sexy though.
He does. He's got a beard. That's sexy, Lawrence. All right.
Thank you for saying so.
I'm not saying you're sexy.
Well, you've said beards are sexy, and I've got a beard.
So have I.
Well, then you're sexy.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff for the listeners.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we saying?
I don't know.
How does any of this relate to Doctor Who?
I don't.
By the way, there should have been an ad 20 minutes ago.
Oh fuck! Wait, I'll use them from last week. We didn't.
Okay. No, we got the. Oh fuck! We didn't even do the first one, did we?
Oh, we didn't know.
Fuck.
Right. If you're now reaching the context of why that sounded weird, and also from last week.
Oh, you're just using the same ones from last week?
Yeah, we've done them.
You'll have to go find them, though.
That's fine. I haven't edited the episode yet, so I'll just keep them in a folder.
Will you remember to do that?
Yeah, I'm editing them tomorrow, yeah.
All right, I don't think you will, but all right. I think when you get to this point in the edit, you'll be like, oh, fuck, no, I gotta go find them, because you will have forgotten, okay?
It's entirely possible, but I am doing them in one day.
And if that is the case, say you was right, Nathan, here.
Fuck you, Nathan, I remembered.
I'll never listen back to this, so I'll never know. But
yeah, but they'll snitch on me when they're in the Discord.
Probably.
I'll get snitched on. So yeah, anyway, it's a fucking, it's a big yellow-eyed fucking lion, right? Looks bad, looks kind of dumb, and kind of stupid. And to be honest, like, really uninteresting as well.
He's called Leandro?
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't write that down.
Game of Thrones is like, Leandro, meet the doctor. And then he's like, all right, cunt?
Yeah. What's going on?
All right, cunt, what's going on? What's happening?
The doctor's like, why would you not just fucking ask for my help? And she's like, and he kind of cottons on, it's because it's something I wouldn't approve of, right? Like, but I don't get it. I tell you what.
So this fucking lion cunt, all right?
Yeah.
First of all, this lion be lying.
Yes, it's very good.
But basically, he's like, my tribe was overthrown, my planet destroyed, and all this shit. I lost my beloved, my wife, and then I escaped using the amulet, and now I need to get it back so I can, like fucking find my people or whatever bullshit.
Go and
he's
chill
making
with
up.
my boys. Yeah,
it's all bullshit. All right, it's all immediately like something's off here. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I mean, yes. He is quite clearly immediately chatting shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big evil lion. Look at him.
Yeah, this is the thing. He's a monster. He's the only monster this week. So he's got to be evil. That's just how it works.
That's how Doctor Who works. I know how Doctor Who works.
We've seen it long enough.
Yeah.
We've got our 10,000 hours in Doctor Who and chatting about Doctor Who, to be honest.
Fucking hell, you're not wrong there, brother. All right, so look, blah, blah, blah. The MacGuffin amulet bullshit. We need to find it. That's it, basically. That's it, yeah. And then they're like, oh, yeah, fucking... There's a conversation where the doctor's like, look, fucking, what happened to you? Okay? Like, and she quite hits him back with, fucking you did, cunt. You happened, okay?
She's been waiting, that one's been in the chamber for her.
Yeah, but like he's saying like, oh, I know you've suffered, you've lost children and everything like that. Yeah. And she goes on to say like, they would have died anyway, which is quite fucking brutal. But like she says, human life is fleeting. People are mayflies, breeding and dying, repeating the same mistakes. It's boring. And I'm stuck here, abandoned by the one man who should know what eternity feels like, who should understand. So this is the whole point of like what Game of Thrones wants, okay? Yeah. The Doctor's refusing to take her with her, okay? Take her with him on his adventures through time and space or whatever. And now this big lion cunt is like, oh, you can come with me to space or whatever, and we'll fucking go have adventures. So she's like,
he's been whispering in her ear, and she's been kind of seduced by that idea,
Yes, and she's like, oh, sick cunt. Let me kill my butler, all right? And then,
for his naff trim.
For his naff trim, which you have. And then,
I don't.
and then we can go, basically. And she's like, and you fucking still won't take me with you, will you, cunt? Like, you fucking go on, you talk about, how I trudge through the centuries day by day, hour by hour, but do you ever fucking care or think what happens after you've flown away? And she says, I live in the world that you leave behind because you abandoned me to it. Okay? pretty cutting, really.
Very, very, very cutting. I really, really like this scene. Namely for a couple of lines that the Doctor says as well, kind of in I can't remember exactly where they come in the conversation, but it might be in response to what you just said.
It might be.
I didn't know your heart would rust because I kept it beating. I didn't know your consciousness. Your conscience would need renewing. Like, phenomenal work there.
That the well of human kindness would run dry. I just wanted to save a terrified young woman's life.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then I think is a great line as well. She hits back with, "You didn't save my life, Doctor. You trapped me in it.
Yeah.
And now I found someone who can set me free." That being this big fucking lying cunt.
He's just there in the background.
He's like, "I'm a lion, and I'm also lying.
I'm a lying lion.
I'm a lying lion."
It's a banger conversation. Again, this is
sorry. I just saw in my scripts here the Doctor. Look, I don't know what Lenny the Lion is up to.
Lenny the Lion.
That's good shit, man.
I like this, right? This is where the episode is at its finest, right? Its best. Like these are banger lines. There's something about writing for 12, or maybe it's just Peter Capaldi. But these lines have such weight to them. He gets so many beautiful poem kind of esque lines. Like this lovely flowery language that he uses is fascinating. But yeah, again, just from a shielder, you didn't save my life, you trapped me inside of it. Like that's exactly how she sees it. It's not an eternity where you're stuck forever in just watching life move on. She's not the Doctor. She can't go places and experience life. She just kind of lets life happen to her. It's great stuff. And you can see why she'd be so fucking livid with him.
He's so good as the Doctor, Peter Capaldi. First of all, he's just a fantastic fucking actor in general. Okay, just an incredible actor. But when he brings that gravitas and that just great fucking skill to the role of the Doctor, it's so fucking good. And like, I think Matt Smith will always be my favorite Doctor Who, just because like it's cemented, you know, it's just there. And I always said, like, Matt Smith is my favorite Doctor Who. Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, is my favorite, but I think 12 is the best. Okay,
yes,
I think Matt Smith is my favorite, but Peter Capaldi is, I think, the best person on just the technical level of like acting ability. I think he is the best to have done it, really.
I feel like he carries, whilst also having such a tight, because every Doctor has their quirk, their thing. Like Matt Smith's known a bit more as the silly but can be really stern Doctor.
Yes.
Like Peter Capaldi has his quirk, has his kind of grumpy old man vibes, but he also captures the variety and the scale of human emotion.
Yeah,
like within
100%.
mere lines. It's crazy how well he does it.
He can capture the grumpy old Doctor, tired of the universe and the world and everything like that, and then in the same line he can also capture the magical little man who is so fascinated and enraptured with the human race as well. It's fascinating how he does it.
It's great stuff, man. I was not prepared for just how good 12 was going to be.
That's because you're a bitch.
That's fair.
A little bitch with a bad haircut like Clayton.
No, I don't have his haircut.
So they're like, oh, this lion, we're going to go open a portal to space or whatever, and everything will be fine, and we're going to kill the butler to do it. And then like some shit happens. These blokes rush into the room. They're like, "Oh fuck,
Sam Swift's been captured."
He's been bloody captured. But I tell you what, I was down by Tredegar train station, all right, and I saw Sam Swift. He was catching a train to Cardiff. He was. I said, "Oi, Sam, you doing about here, bud? You off?"
The most aggressively Welsh guards.
Very Welsh, yeah. I think only one of them was Welsh, but he was very Welsh.
He was Welsh enough for the two of them.
He was Welsh enough for the two of them. He'll hang by Tyburn at noon, he will. Fucking hell, we better get off, but you got a sandwich for the road? Do you want me to do you an omelette before we go?
So what do they do? This is kind of all a little bit of fucking just a bit of nonsense.
This is all a bit of Sabrina Carpenter's nonsense. I need the Charles Dickens.
Great stuff.
Thank you. They're like, oh bloody hell, he's gonna die, he's gonna hang, you know.
Yeah. Maisie Williams is like, the doctor's his sidekick, and they're like, we'll bloody capture him then, won't we?
Yeah, well, fucking. Oh no, it's a bit of fun because they're like, oh, there's a price on your head, Doctor. I don't know how there's a price on the Doctor's head. Like this kind of just got here, but like there is for some reason. And then they're like, oh, there's a price on your head, £20.
It's a great line.
And the Doctor's like, is that it?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that's bloody rich for us. And then the Doctor goes, well, I should have told you, Lady Me, where I know exactly where Lady Me keeps all her money. Almost £30.
Oh, why didn't you say so, fella?
It's a good bit.
It is a good bit. It's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
The Doctor is on horseback. He escapes over. He's off to the gallows, basically.
Yeah.
He's like, right, we're going to catch up because Maisie Williams has basically been like, right, Clayton with his good trim, because it's my trim, can live.
Yeah.
I'm just leaning into it. I'm getting ahead of it.
Sure.
She's like, Clayton can live with his good trim, because fucking Sam with his big nose is off getting hung. So I'll just use his death, right?
Yeah.
As the portal opening death, right? 2 birds, 1 stone. It. So the Doctor's off. He's on his horse, and we cut to Sam Sniff, right?
Sam Swift.
I know, but Maisie Williams called him Sam Sniff, and he's in all my notes as Sam Sniff.
Okay, great.
Sam Sniff, and he's just doing a tight 5 at the gallows. He's got his routine out, and he's going for it.
He's good. Yeah, he says, when I'm gone, they'll all say that's Sam Swift. He was well hung.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good joke.
A bit much for Doctor Who, I think.
To be honest, yeah, a little bit. This guy's he's been showing me the ropes. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. What else was they? I don't know.
More jokes, presumably.
Some more jokes, presumably. But anyway, then the Doctor gets involved. Basically, they become a bit of a double act for a second. Because Sam spots the Doctor in the crowd, and he's like, "Bloody hell, is that the Doctor? Doctor!" He goes, "Doctor, I'm a robber." And then there's a long pause, and everyone's like looking at the Doctor, and he just after a moment goes, "Have you taken anything for it?"
And the crowd erupts.
They go wild. And then Sam, again, they're doing a good double man act here. Sam goes, Doctor, Doctor. And then he goes, quick man, I'm running out of patience.
Yeah. I like this. I like that 12 as well has to save the day and delay the hanging just by doing his dreaded thing, which is just having a laugh with people.
Yeah. You know what they say about a big nose? Big handkerchief.
Big handkerchief. That's it. Do you think the crowd here is really weird? Like,
crowd is really weird. Yeah. And maybe I'll talk more about that later.
Oh, maybe me too.
Okay, sick.
So yeah, well, anyway, so let's nothing about the crowd to discuss.
Yeah, we'll talk about the crowd a little later, maybe. Yeah.
So Maisie Williams, I like that in and amongst all of this, you can kind of see Maisie Williams is kind of looking at Sam, having a bit of a vitality for life and going out with a laugh.
She gives him a kiss at one point.
She does give him a little kiss at one point.
A little smooch.
I think there's an element of her that's kind of looking at him being like, I don't want to do this. Like, she's remembering like how it is to have camaraderie and have a laugh and be jovial and fun and everything else.
Yeah.
Which I quite liked, and she doesn't get any lines about it, so I just think it's a good performance from Maisie Williams to try and show that.
Yeah. Anyway, then she pulls out an amulet and goes, "You want to see someone die? How's this?" And then shoves it on his chest, and he dies.
So I guess she's not double thinking it too.
Not really. This was a line which genuinely made me burst out laughing. The Doctor goes, "Purple, color of death." I was like, what is that an established thing? Is it? All right.
If you say so, man.
I guess. But yeah, his life force is opening a portal. And
it might be a Greek thing because it's the amulet of Hades or something, isn't it? They say.
But is purple ever established as the color of death?
I've always associated purple as a color for royalty. in the past?
I love a purple heart, right? I think a purple heart is cute. I like the color purple. So like on Discord and shit, I often do a purple heart, like react to stuff. Yeah. And then Adolescence. I was watching Adolescence.
Oh,
and in the second episode, like, he's talking to his kid about Instagram and like what different emojis mean, and apparently everything has different meanings.
Like in the
shit.
manosphere,
Yeah. But like apparently a purple heart means horny.
Yes.
And I was like, what? No, I'm not horny, I promise.
I'm showing affection.
I'm showing affection. Please.
This is love and understanding. This is not horny.
No, I'm not horny, I promise.
I don't think anyone other than fucking idiots think about that though, which is good.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I too once overthought a little emoji, especially because I heard that line in Adolescence and I was like, this is news. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm in the practice of orange hearts as opposed to purple hearts these days.
Not down with the kids. I don't know what all these emojis mean.
I don't know what an orange heart means. It's probably worse.
Yeah. Orange heart means I'm sex trafficking you. That's what it means. Yes.
What a bizarre signal.
Well, you got to let them know summer.
A pre-warning. Hello. They've sent me a message and I just immediately hit him with the I'm sex trafficking.
Oh no, I've been orange-hearted. Well, I guess this is it.
I better get on the run. So the portal
trafficked.
opens up and a bunch of spaceships just start. I'll be honest, this is bollocks.
Yeah,
this is
all
absolute
bullshit.
shit.
And it's just like immediately resolved as well, though. But
Yeah.
it's like, no, the fucking spaceships, they're gonna kill us. And then
the boys like, my boys are here.
my boys, my lion boys. And then Shields like, you said you were the last of your kind, you fucking cunt. And he's like, yeah, I'm a lion. I'm always lying.
I'm always be lying.
I'm lying the lion, right?
I think this is funny, right? Because like the portal opens up and it's when you think about space, right, and the universe, this is an space,
the final frontier.
This is an incredibly
These are
small
the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
No, this is not.
Her 5-year mission.
You know that scene in Fanboys where they just start fighting one another? Like, you're bringing it with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Doctor Who underrepresented in that film, I think.
Yeah, it's a British thing, isn't it? Though it's a very American movie. I don't think in '99, especially, like I don't think.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You know, it quite had the cross-Atlantic reach it has today.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
No. The point I'm making, right, is this is an incredibly small portal when you think about the size of fucking space as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? This is an incredibly tiny window. And have they all just gathered round to just blast a tiny corner of Earth? And then, like, what, they're going to move the portal? Is someone going to carry this corpse around so they can conquer all of Earth, over time?
I think, was it not that they were going to come through the portal? But
the portal's tiny, man. Why bother, is my... Like,
what do you mean?
Why do you care? Why do you want to conquer Earth, you losers? I feel like you could ask that question of anyone, though, really.
Yeah. Why the Daleks want to conquer Earth?
Well, no, because they hate stuff. But I guess maybe these guys
hate stuff. Truth be told, they're not well written enough for us to know.
No, to be honest, I'm trying to assign meaning to them to understand them.
We don't really know anything. All we know is they're lions, maybe. Or maybe that's just this cunt, who knows?
Maybe this guy's the freak.
Yeah.
They're all just normal. They all look like Dan Stevens and he looks like this.
Oh, he's the hot one.
Yeah, he's the hot one. That's why they want him back.
He's the hot one of the bunch. Anyway, so they're like, oh, they're fucking, we're evil. We're all gonna fucking kill you or whatever. Yeah. But then they're like, oh no, I made a mistake. What should I do? I know. Let's give Sam Swift this pill and make him immortal. So that then he doesn't die, and then the portal gets destroyed or whatever. Yeah. And that's what they do, and then the portal is destroyed, and everything's fine.
I don't like this resolution, and this is my big point about why I think the episode suffers from having to do Doctor Who stuff.
Let me just get my gun ready to shoot you.
No, I don't know if you would like this. I can't imagine why you would, right? But just the entire episode, they've been having the conversation. Hey, immortality is horrendous. I'm having a bad time. My kids have died. Anyone I've ever cared about has died. I've forgotten most of them, right? This is a bad time. I'm stuck here on this earth. It's horrible. And the Doctor's like, yeah, I can kind of see why you would think that, but it's still important to care and all of this stuff. And the resolution to this, because I don't even think it thematically works. I don't think they were thinking about it too much, right? But just how they wrap this up is go like, we can bring this guy back to life. Let's slap the fucking thing on him, the chip on him, the immortality chip that saves the day. But I'm like, you've just spent 40 minutes telling me why you'd never want this to happen to anyone. Like, you've spent 40 minutes telling me why this is the worst thing ever, but suddenly a victorious moment is you inflicting that immortality. And I know the Doctor circles back round to it, but that's bollocks as well.
I think it does work, okay. But I think you're coming at it from the wrong perspective, okay?
Okay,
I think in terms of, like, for the episode and stuff, I don't think it's supposed to be coming at it from the perspective of immortality is horrible and we should never do this, blah, blah, blah. It's more coming at it from the perspective of Maisie Williams, Shield, or whatever the fuck you want to call her, has lost her light, and she's looking at people like mayflies and how life is insignificant, okay? And how life is meaningless, so what the fuck does it matter if someone dies, okay?
Yeah.
It's unimportant, it doesn't mean anything, why shouldn't we just kill this person? And then for her to learn that lesson, and then to give this token, this pill, this whatever the fuck it is, to give that gift of life to someone she's had, a rivalry with, whatever and stuff. It's her growing, it's her learning their lesson and stuff. It's character development. Okay, not saying it's the best in the world, but I do think it makes sense from that point of view.
It serves her, I think. Yeah, her story, for her to gift life to someone.
Yes,
like I can see why that works. I just think it's convenient writing and a little bit.
It is It's absolutely
it's ignoring
convenient.
a large part of what
I don't think
that
it's
would actually
ignoring.
do.
I don't think it is. No. I think it's very convenient, and it is. Yeah, it's 100% very convenient writing. I don't think it's necessarily ignoring anything though.
Okay, I think I'm just.
I think it's still taking into account those conversations and everything.
See, the reason I think it's I haven't even really got there, but the reason I think it sweeps it under the rug is because the Doctor goes, maybe it won't. I don't think it might. I don't know. And he casts enough doubt on it to be like, maybe the amulet exploded the part that will make him immortal or whatever.
But he also said, you just made all that up, didn't you? It was like, yeah.
It feels swept under the rug to me a little bit. Like, it feels like they go, don't worry about it, we don't care.
But the thing is, he was never trying to dissuade her from using it, okay? She always had it. He even wanted her to use it and encouraged her to, because he said she needs someone, immortality should not be spent alone. So the Doctor was never coming at this from the position of, I did a bad thing, don't make my mistake again, don't make someone else immortal because that was a bad thing. He was never coming at that situation from this point of view. Yeah. If anything, he was encouraging her to use it so she wouldn't have to spend eternity alone, so she could have that shared experience. That's why I don't think it's necessarily, contradicting itself or doing anything like that. Really.
Okay, all right, I can see it. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Still a bit lame though.
You're a bit lame. It is a bit lame. Like I said, it's very like, oh no, the enemy's here.
Oh,
okay. Yep.
Yeah, we fixed it. Don't worry, they're not now.
Yeah, it's
even just the way that like the portal closes and like various civilians just kind of come out of their like shack they were hiding under. They're like, we're fine. I was like, oh, nothing mattered there then.
Yeah, it's all very quickly wrapped up. Anyway, then they're in the pub. Yeah, they're having a pint, and like the Doctor's like, hey, yeah, maybe it's all bullshit, but maybe not, or whatever. Like he did just say he made it up, so.
I do kind of like this. So Sam Sniff leaves the table.
Sam Swift.
I know, but he leaves the table and he's like, I'm going to get around him, boys. And he pisses off. And then as soon as he leaves...
Oh, that lion cunt dies, by the way. That lion cunt gets killed.
Oh, he just disappears,
he gets killed. He gets killed by his own kind. They're like, we're going to blow you up.
Oh.
And then they do. Yeah, he disintegrates.
So they really were there for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Don't get him. The portal closes and they got another Tuesday for us.
Anyway, good on that. Lion or whatever.
Good on that lion. The lion be lying. But
anyway, Sam Swift, he's in the pub.
Yes, but he's gone to get around in, and he leaves Maisie Williams and the Doctor to have a little conversation. And again, this is the meat of the episode. I like this. The Doctor essentially saying the last thing that they need, the reason he's been holding her at arm's length for so long, the last thing two immortal folks need is one another, because they'll essentially get bitter and jaded. And he explains that immortal type people, they need folks around them that continuously prove why caring is important. How special life is, and because it's fleeting. He says our perspectives are too vast. So
we need the mayflies, he says.
Yes, yeah.
He says we need the mayflies. The mayflies, they know more than we do. They know how beautiful and precious life is because it's fleeting.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really good perspective, really. It's a really beautiful way to look at it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also shows you the testament. Again, it answers the question that the Doctor avoided from earlier, as this is why he won't change Clara. Because to him, Clara is perfect. And he doesn't want to see her essentially become someone like this.
And then he's like, oh, you're not the first immortal I travelled with, Captain Jack Harkness, he mentions. And he says he'll get round to you eventually. So
you better pray he doesn't.
Yeah, you better pray he doesn't.
Look at this. No!
No!
I like that the Still Got Legs shorthand for Captain Jack has become that he is a flasher as well.
He will flash you at any moment.
It's not outside the realm of possibility for Captain Jack, I don't think.
No, I think it's possible, to be honest.
I do like that though. I like it when the show pays reference to a character that we haven't seen in a very long time. It just fleshes out the Doctor's. I think a common criticism that I've had with a lot of new Doctors is that they almost have a. I don't know. I understand the writer wants to come in, the showrunner wants to come in and do something different and not harken back to an old era when they're trying to make their statements and their points. But I do like it when you can reference the past and it feel natural and woven in. And the Doctor, and this is all you need. You don't need the Doctor being like, Captain Jack was this guy who did this. It's just the Doctor's like, yeah, I knew a bloke. You'll run into him at some point probably. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a balance to strike. You don't want it be constant references all the time.
No,
because then what the fuck is the point?
Yeah, and you're not bringing anything to the table.
You're not doing anything. You just go and look at this. Remember this?
Yeah.
But then, you don't want it to be totally devoid of that either.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like there's already so many tonal differences and character differences. Yeah, the jump from Series 4 to Series 5, it may as well be a different TV show, and that's that's good because I like Series 5.
I don't think that's true.
Do you know what? I think I don't even think it's necessarily a bad thing because I like Season 5's tonal differences, but they do very quickly go this is us now. We're not that.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so? Why not?
No, they're not that never happened. We'll never reference any of that.
No. They don't never reference it, but it's because the show goes through so many changes, and so many different identities. It's nice to have a continuous through line that runs through it, and it's rare. I think it is rare you do get these moments, lines like this.
But I think that happens in Series 5 though as well.
I'm probably forgetting stuff.
It literally opens with Matt Smith in the same suit as David Tennant. Okay,
all right, but no, as soon as the era establishes itself,
and then he's like, "Oh, you've had some cowboys in here, wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff that
past
David
the
Tennant
first
said."
episode, though.
Okay, all right. So we're moving the goalposts now, are we? Okay.
Yeah, because obviously there's a transitionary
River Song, Angels.
No, I can't remember who that character is. I said I was forgetting stuff.
All right.
So yeah, what do you make of this? The kind of last bit of this conversation about how that Maisie Williams is essentially someone's got to keep an eye on you prick.
She says I'll be I'll be there to look out for the people you abandon. I'll be the patron saint of the Doctor's leftovers. Yeah. While you're busy protecting the world. So. I quite like that. I think it's an interesting idea, at least. I
did too, and you could, from a character perspective, you can totally see why she'd be like, mate, you say you do good, but you did leave me for 800 years and it was horrible.
Yeah.
We had a good day, we won the day and whatever, and we killed that lion together, but we're not cool. We're not straight immediately cool, and I don't trust you really. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
The Doctor. I think the Doctor's he says as much that he's impressed by this. Essentially, he's like, it was the right call.
Yeah.
Essentially, because it's nice that he has a little someone just watching over him, making sure he's not a massive prick. And then the Doctor's just ripping on his guitar in the console.
I love just seeing him riffing on his guitar. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's very cool.
That first shot, the establishing shot, where it's you're seeing it through a corridor and it's half console and the wires underneath. I'm like, God, that's awesome. That looks so sick.
It is, yeah. But Clara comes in. We get Clara. She comes in at the end of the episode. Very, very sweet moment, I think. She's got a present for him. He apparently, one of her students had a homework assignment where they had to do a imaginary interview with someone from history.
Yeah.
And apparently he just let them have an interview with Winston Churchill, which is quite funny to think about. But as a thank you, she sent the doctor a selfie, and like the doctor's like, oh yeah, great present, you know. What about a Ferrari? You know? Or does anyone make sherbet lemons anymore?
Do you think that like in Clara's class at school,
Yeah,
there is just this kind of like it's a bit like School of Rocky in that all the students just keep the secret that the doctor is this weird little guy that they know.
yeah, I think so. I think that's quite cool. I like the idea of them all like keeping that secret. Really.
Yeah, I think it's awesome because like it, and also it's boring to imagine the alternative is like the headmaster finds out or whatever, and is like the parents are like, what's going on with our kids time traveling and all this shit. Like,
yeah.
I think it's awesome that they all know that Clara is a time traveler, and it's just the coolest fucking shit.
I think so too. Yeah.
And also,
100%.
like, we've seen kids be so nonchalant about the TARDIS and stuff, especially like in the last series. So yeah, I buy it, and I think it's kind of cool.
I never didn't buy it. I never not brought it into question.
Oh well.
You're bringing your own baggage onto this
I'm
one,
defending my own stance.
All right, great.
Which is that I also think it's cool.
Okay. Anyway, yes. So yeah, she shows him the selfie, and he's like, "Oh, very lovely." Kind of just humoring it, basically.
Yeah.
As you would from a kid, really. Like, why would I care about
selfie?
this? But,
yeah, cool.
Oh, that's great. That's lovely. Anyway,
Awesome.
but he notices in the background that Maisie Williams is there, and he zooms in. He's like, "Oh, bloody hell, there she is. She's got a 2014 outfit on, and doesn't just look weird or whatever."
Which is weird because Maisie Williams, like, we know what Maisie Williams looked like in this time, like, so I don't know if I think the show does a good job because they've put her in so many past mucky clothes.
Yeah.
Right, that like seeing her in a 2014 get-up, it is jarring on the eyes, but like that's just Maisie Williams.
It's just Maisie Williams, yeah.
It's kind of weird, but quite effective, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, nothing. Yeah, that's very nice. Tell her next time I'll take cash," he says.
Yeah.
And then there's just this fucking sweet moment, man. This genuinely made me burst out into tears, okay?
Yeah.
Just the way Clara hugs the doctor from behind, and they just have that genuinely sweet moment, and he just, like, after a beat, he's like, "I've missed you, Clara Oswald." And then, like, she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere." And then he just looks at her. As he just takes a moment to look at her while she's like looking up at like the TARDIS as it flies off and stuff. He's like watching that smile on her face, and you fucking know what he's thinking about. He's like fucking that whole fucking Mayfly thing, and it's beautiful and it's heartbreaking because I know what's coming, so that makes it even more heartbreaking. But it genuinely made me cry. I watched this and I just burst out crying, and I'm crying a little bit now, and I don't know why. And it's beautiful.
But I think it is emotionally effective. Like this is why we speak about this every week, right? But these characters are so well developed. Like they've done more with. At this point, a season and a half than I've seen done with characters that have served like 2 or 3 seasons. Like, I think it's so effective. It's so emotionally resonant. And I think they do a good job every now and again, like we spoke about at the start of the episode, to bench Clara in service of still furthering their dynamic. Because now when the doctor looks at her, we know that that's coming with all the baggage of the conversations he's just had.
Yes.
So it's very effective. It's very interesting. 2 fascinating characters. If we're
2
honest.
truly fascinating characters, and a really fascinating and interesting dynamic. I love
me
their
that
relationship.
People that don't like Clara, man.
I know. I love their relationship so much. I love Clara so much. But hey,
Don't get it, man. I do not.
Some
get
people are just wrong.
Yeah, and that's allowed.
Well,
It's allowed, but we can look down on them for it.
Anyway,
Weirdo of the Week! Weirdo.
this is everyone's favourite section of the show, where we get to take a chance to look back and reflect on some of the weird and wonderful and grubby little fucking characters who come across our screen each and every week. Lawrence, who's your weirdo for this week?
It is a bloke in the crowd, but also the crowd at large. So I'm just going to say the crowd.
Okay. Why?
Mostly for the reasons that they go like they're there to see a hanging, and then when he busts out his Type 5 routine, Sam Sniff or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, we love this, and then they're like, right, time to kill Sam Smith, and they're like, yeah, kill him, and then he gets saved, and they're like, hooray, he's saved, and then the doctor's there, and some guy's like, kill this guy instead, and everyone's like, yeah, like it's a crowd that seemingly will just cheer for whatever happens, no matter what. No one seems to actually care about what they're there for, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I've got the townspeople, the crowd, whatever, for being aggressively bloodthirsty.
Yes.
And like calling for the execution of Sam Swift. And then when that went wrong, they're like, well, kill the doctor then. Let's kill the doctor. Yeah.
Someone's gonna die today.
Someone's gonna die. Yeah, let's kill the doctor. But then when Sam Smith is like, oh, I'm alive, they were like, yeah, we
fantastic.
love that. Yeah, like, make up your fucking minds.
What do you want?
Do you want him to die or to live? Which is it? You know? I know they're supposed to be like idiots. All right, I get it. But like still, they are idiots.
It is fun to see literally in the next scene, Sam Swift is in the pub, and they're all like, we love you, Sam Swift. Have a beer on us. And he's like, cheers, guys. You're really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the same choice because they're very weird. I think that's good stuff from us.
Good stuff indeed. Yeah.
Nathan, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's time for the audience to have their say now.
I was not aware of that. No, this is news to me. And now I'm going to have to kill myself.
oh, shit. Okay, well, while you prepare to do that, well, maybe you could write your Type 5 first, and we could hear that before you get hung.
My Type 5?
Yeah, you got to do a Type 5 like Sam Sniff.
Oh, all right.
If you're new, you can write into the emails or the Discord. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. We look through some, we pick some out, we read them on the show. Nathan, were we blessed with any emails?
Just fucking get on.
We were not blessed with any emails. All right, coming in from, let's just go with the first one I see. Christina Shrugs. I have a strong suspicion that the show Game of Thrones is probably going to come up at some point in this episode, and Nathan is likely to say the words Game of Thrones.
What?
As in, like, it's the way they've phonetically written down.
Yeah,
Game
I know. I'm looking
at
it now, but like, is that something I do?
Well, you say Game of Thrones.
I do say Game of Thrones. Yeah.
But this person thinks you're saying Game of Thrones.
I'm not saying gay Movrons. I'm saying Game of Thrones.
Well, they say you're saying it often, Nathan. They say, as he often does whenever that show is brought up. I have no idea who or what the Movrons are, but I'm glad that there's apparently a group of them who feel comfortable to live and express themselves freely, with a little pride flag attached.
Is that the Bana Cafalata pride flag?
Yes, it is. Yes, on closer inspection it is.
Okay, well, I'm not saying Game of Thrones, let me be clear. I'm saying Game of Thrones.
But can you at least be appreciative and happy that there are the Movrons out there that feel free to express themselves?
No, I don't support them at all.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
Yep.
That's right. We're not allies for the Movrons.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Carney Mark 2 says, I've expunged this from my memory. That's how much I hate this.
Just like you expunged those boner pills.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And in fact, until you do, we're not going to read out your thoughts. No, I feel mean.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate this. All I remember is crystals and wanting to remove my eyes. I think there's a bit of a forced hatred for this. I think there's enough meat in the episode to not... This is not terrible. Yes, it's weak sauce towards the end, and it's a bit... But it's half a good episode and half a bad episode.
Yeah, it's a little like boring in places, but I think there is some good stuff here to sink your teeth into. I think there's some false hatred to this entire season, but I'm biased, so...
That's true, yeah. It's hard to get... I can't get a read on it, because people in the Discord seem to disagree with you, and I trust your opinion more than I trust theirs.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. The Penguin of the Discord says I've never seen Game of Thrones. Or, sorry, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
No. Do not support the Mothra.
I've never seen Game of Thrones. So I have no opinion on Maisie Williams, but I think her in this is great. A lot of people I know for some reason don't like this episode, and I don't get those people personally. I think this episode is I think the episode overall is good. I think it's got bad bits, and the villain is a bit shit, and the plot is a bit weird. However, this episode greatly shows what happens as the Doctor interferes with people's lives, and not always for the better. And showing them how she's not always the same person anymore because of him. We almost always see how the Doctor's impact on people have changed their lives for the better, but this shows greatly the other side. Also, Sam Swift is Sam Swift is great, definitely a great side character, and I find him very funny.
You did that thing again several times where you go, and also Sam Swift. And also Sam Swift.
Because it's like you know a cue, and you've queued up a sentence in your brain, and I can tell I'm not saying this the way that it should be said.
You didn't say most of it the way it should be said. First of all, you added in words which just wasn't there. By the way,
I don't mean to be rude. This isn't the best written thought we've ever had.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it's the truth.
I mean, I would also say it's not the best read thought, okay?
Yes, but I can't read something that doesn't make sense in places.
You also can't read.
Oh, no.
Full stop, okay? Anyway, I agree.
Yeah, and the last one I'll read out is John Swanson42. I don't get the dislike for this episode. I didn't much pay attention to it, but I had fun. Also in that thumbnail, Maisie Williams looks like me when I was 5 and I dressed as a burglar for Halloween. Legend. Great stuff.
Very fun. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you to everyone who wrote in. Again, we know that the thought segment is a little bit weird as we're fucking bulk recording a lot of these, but I appreciate everyone that wrote in, and for many episodes that we haven't read out yet. It's time for me to read this next thing. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, you can give us a little 5-star review. That'd be very cool. And you can also follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at StillGotLegsPod. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat.
Okay. I was like, do I usually say something?
No, I was taking a breather because I was
That's fine. You take a breather, you take a breath, it's fine.
Thanks,
you
man.
Take a breath.
Thanks,
I know, I get it.
You get it. We've been here. Join the Discord as well, by the way. You can share your thoughts on the episode or email them over to stillgotlegspodcast@gmail.com. And it's time for big, fat, juicy thank yous. The fattest and juiciest thank you to Nathan Bauer.
Yes, I deserve it.
He does. What about me?
No.
Oh, just give me a little thanks.
I never will.
I prefer it when you do.
I never will.
Thank you to Nina for managing the short form content as well as marshalling the Discord alongside Maylina and, of course, Pierce. And if you're interested in hearing more from us, you can check out our lovely, lovely Patreon, the link to sign up for which can be found in the show notes. With that, you get some episode notes, you get a bonus podcast for Doctor Who topics and commentaries as voted on by you, and Still Got Rex, where we recommend some stuff we've been watching, reading, or listening to. Get involved, get signed up, and when you do, we're going to call you a Patreon companion. And who have we picked up this week in our weird little TARDIS?
How much can they sign up for, Lawrence?
Oh, I think it's a £5, Nathan.
Well, they get all that for £5 a month. That
could
sounds
say
like
that's
a fucking bargain, if you ask me.
A steal. A certified steal.
Wow. And then I hear that after 6 months of continuous membership, they also get a mug. Is that correct?
Nathan, you're bang on the money, mate. And bang on the money is right, okay? Because these people, they get what they pay for. It's great quality stuff over there, including the mug, which we have not decided who will be manufacturing.
No, we have.
Oh, have we? You know, do you?
Yeah, we know, yeah.
Have they got good reviews? Are they good quality mugs?
I told you about this. It's Patreon.
Yeah, I know, but Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've forgotten. Nathan does the Patreon stuff.
Okay, great.
I just show up.
What did you ask me?
Who are we picking up in our weird TARDIS?
Lawrence, in our weird TARDIS this week, we are picking up Bim in the Flesh.
Are we picking Bim up in the flesh or Bim in the flesh?
Bim in the Flesh is who we are picking up.
Okay.
They are from Stanley in Virginia.
Nice.
In the US of A. Don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, I've heard.
Stanley, isn't that where the CIA is?
Maybe, man. I was thinking of a cat I know called Stanley.
Great.
Which is not the same thing.
Terrific help as always, Lawrence. I can always count on you to help me out.
Nathan, isn't Stanley where the CIA is?
Lawrence, don't just ask the same question that I asked you, okay? Look, I'm pretty sure Langley. It's Langley. Now that I think about
I don't know any cats called Langley.
I'm not asking about fucking cats!
Oh, I thought you were.
Anyway, we picked Stanley up when they were being recruited for the CIA.
Yeah.
It's not Stanley, sorry. We picked Bim in the Flesh up when they were being recruited for the CIA.
Yeah.
They actually had a mission to see if they could find... I don't know, a terrorist or some shit. And so they was at, I don't know, like a local mall or some shit, just looking for a terrorist, as you do.
Yeah. Any intel, or were they just there hoping?
No, just there hoping to run into one. Just walking about in a pair of sunglasses, like. You seen any terrorists?
Any terrorists?
Yeah. Also got weirdly racial as well.
I was going to say, there must be some profiling.
Yeah, like there was some dudes walking around in like fucking red and Make America Great Again hats who were like, yeah, I've seen terrorists, let me show you. Like, oh, I don't know if you have, mate. I think you might have just seen a guy working a food store, okay? But anyway, like, Bim in the Flesh was doing that, was, you know, trying to find out what they can. And then they came across the TARDIS, knocked on the door and was like, hello, have you seen any terrorists? And I answered and said, I haven't, but I do have this gun. Now get inside.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And then
I was so proud.
we kidnapped them and off we went.
So I guess all along they did find a terrorist.
Well, how dare you? Okay, I'm not a terrorist, but yeah, that's what happened. So welcome aboard, Bim in the Flesh.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan, the next person we're picking up is Reginald Carson II, which I think is a cool name.
A phenomenal name. I love that so much.
A great name that sounds very cool. And we're picking up Reginald Carson II because they're actually a clone of the
Where are
OG.
they from?
Well, they're not from anywhere. They're from a void.
Okay, well, tell us that then, you dickhead.
All right, they're from the void, everyone.
Okay, great.
Anyway, Reginald Carson II, the reason we've actually tracked them down is because they're a clone, Nathan.
A clone?
Yeah, and the number in the name is actually not indicative of a bloodline, but rather a batch of clones.
Okay. Right.
So we're hunting down Reginald Carson II because we're trying to gather up all of the clones. We don't know how many there are. It could be a very long mission. There could be thousands of Reginald Carsons out there. But currently we're only looking for the second one. That's who we've been commissioned to find.
So we don't have two Reggie Carsons. We only have the one.
No, yeah, but we've a mysterious
But we've
envelope.
got the second one.
We're looking for the second one.
Well, so we don't have them.
No, we find them at the end of this sentence.
Okay.
Because I remembered the gimmick of what we do here. And I tell you, and the mysterious envelope that hired us, with the fat envelope of cash that said you need to find this person, we've thrown that cash in the bin and renounced our bounty hunter statuses because we'd much rather have chill vibes because Reggie Carson 2 is pretty cool.
I feel like we spent 10 minutes on this one alone.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Fuck you now. Next up, we have Doma.
But Doma's still in there.
Lawrence, shut up. Doma from London. Okay.
All right, Doma. How you doing, mate?
All right. Don't know what that.
Doing a bit of a London voice.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but all right. You're from London. Why did you do a different voice for the place that you're from?
I'm not from central London.
No, because no one's from central London. No one's from central London.
I guess so.
Do you live on Oxford Street? Fuck off, man.
If they do, they're not listening to this.
No one lives on Oxford Street.
No.
If you do, you don't. Right?
You live in a shop, maybe.
Yeah. You live in a fucking... a tax haven. That's what that is, right? No one lives in fucking Oxford Street. Anyway, Doma, who may be called Dominic, but Doma from London, was, of course, fuck, I don't know, man. Doma.
I've really derailed it
You
for
really
reasons
are.
that no one will know.
Well, Look, Doma was actually on a street in Chiswick deciding whether or not to go to an interview at one job or another, okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whether or not they should turn left or turn right, okay? And go down one route or the other. But luckily for them, it didn't really matter because thanks to time travel and the TARDIS, I was actually on both versions, okay?
Oh, nice.
So if they
okay.
turned left, I was there with a gun. And if they turned right, I was also there with a gun, but I did it half an hour earlier, okay?
Just to really cover all bases.
Just to really cover all bases, okay?
Great.
And then like they turn left, or in this case they actually turned right, and they saw me with the gun just waiting, and they were like, "Oh, what's going on here? I better go out and take a look." And I said, "Hello, nice to meet you. Get in the fucking TARDIS now." And they did, and now Dom is with us, and we're having a good time.
And they've been kidnapped. Great stuff.
they've been kidnapped, but they're having fun. I cannot stress this enough. Look, have I kidnapped the majority of these companions? Yes, but they're having fun. Okay,
Yeah, that's just Stockholm syndrome.
We're all having a good time. It's good chill vibes on board this TARDIS.
Oh, is it?
No one is begging to get out.
There's not hostage vibes there.
No, it's all good. Everyone's safe.
I like how there's mostly my lot, which are happy. And your lot
Everyone's
who have all
happy.
been ushered in at gunpoint.
Lawrence, don't even dare. Not after what we just went through. All right.
Yeah, but that's cut.
Yeah, I know it is. But go on.
Nathan, the next person and last person today joining us is actually Barry Scott. And
Barry Scott?
Yeah, no, don't you do it. It's my input.
Bang, and the dirt is gone.
No,
Bang goes my gun.
no, you're not allowed. Barry Scott is from the Void, but that's okay. We know where Barry Scott's from. We landed inside a Sillet Bang advert, Nathan, and we picked up Barry Scott whilst he was mid-cleaning up a table. You know all the shiny tables that they're always wiping with their...
They're never cleaning tables. They're always cleaning like hob worktops and
or like
shit,
a
like
kitchen
ovens.
counter or some shit.
Like an oven, like a kitchen hob.
Yeah, Barry Scott's cleaning his oven, right? And Barry's like, mate, I've had enough of this, right? I'm always just selling this Sillet Bang. I'm sick of it. And then we just said, why don't you come with us in the TARDIS, right? And then Nathan got his gun out, and it went bang. And then something else happened. I don't know, you finish this.
No.
No!
No. I'm not gonna.
All right, none of that happened. Barry Scott is in the TARDIS with us, and nothing is gone anymore because they found their home, Nathan. How nice is that as a touching ending?
Did you explain how they got in the TARDIS now?
Yeah, we picked them up from the Sillet Bang commercial. We landed inside the commercial.
I feel like that all got very confusing, really.
Maybe, but I also feel like you weren't fully paying attention to it.
I feel like you weren't paying attention to it, brother.
You might be right, but look, Barry Scott knows where they are. That's fine.
I don't think they do, if I'm being honest.
We got them from the advert, didn't we? No.
Great. Well, there you go. You're welcome, I guess. Thanks, Barry. Thanks, Doma. Thanks, Reginald Carson II. Thank you, Bim in the Flesh.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And thank you again, everyone, for listening. You can see us next Monday at 10 a.m. Stay beautiful, stay legging, stay sexy.
Bye.